Hey, let's take a look in the Yaesu booth. See what's going on. People are lined up to get their free hat. Lots of hats. Here I am with Dennis, K7BV from Yaesu, and I've asked Dennis to talk about what is new at Yaesu for Dayton 2010.
Well, we've had a big preparation in coming in here, and we have several new products. The one that's getting the most action right here is our FTDX 5000, which is our new high-performance HF rig. Comes with two receivers and has all the greatest features for third-order intermod. It's probably going to take over the top of the market as soon as the evaluations come out from QST magazine.
Cool.
So that's our biggie. We also have a new amplifier, a full legal power amplifier.
I saw that.
Yeah, it just came out. As a matter of fact, it came in at 8 o'clock on Friday night. It's the first time we'd seen it here. So we're awfully excited about that. We have some new APRS products. We have two new handhelds with APRS and also a new mobile that's becoming very popular as well. It's our FTM 350 and our BX8 series of APRS radios. So it's been a big day for us.
Very cool. A couple of questions I get emails quite often is from like the new technician class. He just got his license, looking for his first radio. So I know Yaesu's got a full line of 2 meter and other sort of, so what's your recommendations for somebody starting?
Well, one of the position policies that we have about our VHF and UHF handhelds is that we have the broadest line. 75% of the VHF handheld market belongs to Yaesu, and that's because we have such a broad line, so that there's a radio for everybody. Well, people don't have to buy more radio than they want. Oftentimes, a new technician will want to get in. Some of them only want to have 2 meter capability, and some of them want to have dual band capability, so they can go on 440. And we have a number of radios. From an inexpensive radio with a lot of capability to a more expensive radio that's submersible and can be used out in the rain, particularly today where we're worried about being able to serve our public with our radios in emergencies. So our line it's a huge line. The technicians can go that way. Oftentimes the technician will want to buy a radio that he can use when he becomes a general. So he doesn't have to get rid of this radio and get one. And what that'll frequently mean to them is a mobile that can do 2 meters 440, but also has the capability of all the general class bands. So we have some very economically priced radios that way, so that they can immediately make the transition up into the general class and without having to change radios.
Yeah, something like the FT857 or 897, the larger form factor would be that type of choice.
Yes, our 857 and our 897 are two very unique radios in that they share the same board. They're basically the same transceiver. One is packaged for mobile use primarily, although it's a small profile and a small footprint, so a lot of people like to use those at home if they don't have a lot of room for their ham station. Our 897 is a radio that was designed to be used either at home or portable or mobile, and it has a cavity built into the bottom of it, so a person can put batteries in it and actually walk around and run HF with this radio. So it's very, very popular.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I know you have 6,000 new hats to deal with. And the line is long, right?
It is long.
And they're getting impatient.
I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about our new products.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Okay, I'm in the Icom booth with Scott, N7SS, and they're introducing the new IC9100 at Dayton 2010. What are the neat new features in this radio, Scott?
Well, this one is effectively replacing 2 radios in the product line. There was a 746 Pro that was HF and 6, that was an IFDSP radio, and the 910, which was our high-power satellite rig with the VHF, UHF, and an optional 1.2 gig. This actually does all of that. You get IFDSP on 2 simultaneous receivers. You have It's an updated IFDSP, updated processors, the same family that's running now in the 7600.
Okay.
And you still have the option to add things like D-Star and the roofing filters that are in some of the other radios as well. If you're not a big HF operator, or if you don't necessarily need the roofing filters, that's all an option. You can add that at some later point.
Okay. So for the satellite operator that's gone beyond the FM with the portable through AO52,
exactly,
this is where you step up to next.
Exactly, and more people are looking for a compact rig, kind of limited space, but don't necessarily want to limit their functionality.
Yeah.
Or in the future they might want to do this, and we'll do satellites later at some point, or maybe have this one radio that you can pull out and take mobile with you and portable operations. But in one radio you have a huge amount of functionality and at a very high performance level, similar to the rest of the product line.
Very cool. Two questions I get emails quite often. I get emails from the new technician class people wondering what I recommend, what's the beginning radio for that type of new licensee, as well as the person who's just passed his general.
Yes.
Without getting too confusing or maybe too complex radio. So what's Icom's recommendations for the new hams breaking into the hobby? Besides a nice Visa card.
Yeah, well, that's a little like what's the best car, there's a lot of little subtleties there, and of course we have a pretty big product line to accommodate things. Obviously this is probably the most versatile in the product line right now. One of the other radios that's been incredibly popular for that group of people, I think, has been, again, largely because of its versatility, has been the Icom 7000.
Yes.
Because it's a mobile rig, it does all the bands, it has the IFDSP.
It's got the nice display.
It has that gorgeous little color display that can be remoted as a video out. You can put it in a little larger display. Not quite the same performance level, obviously. It's it's low power DSPs. But a very similar feature set, and certainly nothing to sneeze at as far as performance goes.
Right, so a technician can start with that for his FM work, and then better get his general to use the rest of it.
The rest, well, and you still get to use the sideband. It does sideband on VHF, UHF. So for playing around in VHF, UHF contests, or maybe even some satellite work, it'll do that too, just not full duplex. And it really is a fantastic little radio for. I say this because I own one. I'm a huge fan, and in fact, I'm planning on buying a second one. But it's just hard to beat in that tiny little package all the functionality you get. And of course, the best recommendation with any of those radios that have that level of features is to spend some time reading through the manual. Otherwise, you're missing a huge amount of functionality that you paid for, right?
And the manuals are available online to look at before you buy the radio.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not. One of the things is it really is much faster to learn the radio when you're sitting in front of it. You start poking buttons and you start to see how things are very similar, and you learn the kind of the way the radio works, and it's really not that hard to use. But the microphone is nice. It has a lot of functionality available, so it's not all hidden in menus. It really is it's got a lot of connections on the back for hooking up to all kinds of crazy things. And it's quite a little Swiss Army knife of radios.
Very good. Well, thanks for your time, and enjoy the show. And
it's only one brain. And all the women keep telling me that we're all Swiss. They're the ones that are new. That's just Dave. This is that really is. Right, we had all the filters. All the old telegraph. Back when I bought mine, I bought one. I got to go buy some over here. Yeah, we haven't got even a pre-production one. That's on campaign right now. We're going to have two. We got two of them completely made by hand. They look good. No,
you're in a price yet, or?
No. I'm thinking around 500.
Down conversion receiver. Receiver's running at 11 megahertz. It's truly 32-bit floating point DSP. It's in the IF. It has USB port. It has RS-232 port. It's going to be a very high-end receiver. The receiver should spec out to be in the same class as a K3 from Elecraft. A very high-end receiver. Trying to give them a little bit of competition there. Ship in late September. They'll be available early October and street price for around $1,800. Yeah. Now we're going to launch this in August at Ham Fair, and there'll be even more information coming out. They haven't even told me how many conversions the receiver makes yet. And they won't let me take a screwdriver to it. So I've tried them.
So have you heard a price yet, or?
No, already probably. I'm thinking around 500, 400, somewhere in there. It'll be the end of the year.
We have speaker, mic, USB, GPS, and power.
Thank God.
Yeah. No. Just a second. The K3, and over here is the P3 display. Very cool. I need one of those.
I like to see that.
So we have an Omni 7 here.
That's correct.
Along with a Ten Tec new external RF speech processor.
Let me move my wire out of the way here.
So you see this is like a $250 linear, right?
This is, you know what, this is...
Here I'm listening to myself. Is there more monitor gain?
Yeah, I think I probably got the monitor.
To the K7AGE. I'm not talking about it.
All right, now watch.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, look at your meter.
There's the processing off. And now we're going to turn it. Oh, wow.
See the difference?
Oh, man.
All right, back off.
Back off. But, I hear almost nothing with it off. And when you turn it on, it's real loud. And I don't hear a lot of thumping.
That's true speech.
Ten Tec also has other various little kits, receivers, little audio amp, shortwave receiver, CW transmitter and such. This is the Orion 2. Not really a bidder's radio.
Very nice receiver.
Randy, K7AGE with my iPhone with my Echolink app, going to connect to Bob into OML in the back seat here. So I have it up here and I go transmit into OML from K7AGE. Over. Getting feedback.
Go ahead and answer. Yeah, good to hear from you, Randy. K7AGE N2 OML. You are 599 from the back seat.
Roger, the 599 in the back seat. You're 599 in the middle seat. QSL, please.
In the middle seat. Please.
QSL's in the mail. Thank you, Randy.
All while traveling down the road.
That's all.
It'll be in the logbook of the world. 73.
Waiting to say that, you beat me to it.
Very good. At no time were any amateur frequencies being used.
At no times did my fingers ever leave my hand.
Disconnected.
Works.